Hello and welcome to another fountain pen review. We're going to be going vintage again. We're going to be taking a look at the Waterman 52 in all black chased hard rubber. This pen was made from about 1915 to about 1930, give or take. It is a lever filler, and this is one of the earlier models of the 52 because of the clip up here. I can go ahead and date this pen based on my 1991 fountain pen book. We can see this pen matches up very nicely to number 14 right here, which if I go down here is this one. We can see it's from 1915. Waterman made quite a lineup of these models, ranging from silver overlays. We got gold overlays up here, and here we've got even more gold overlays here as well. Right here we have some filigree patterns which Waterman made. We have the ladies version of the 52, which is right here. We have yet another variant of the ladies 52 right here as well, the 452.5V. And then near the very end of the production of this pen, we have the hard rubber lever filling pens in red ripple. Now this is the plain version of the pen. It doesn't have any of the fancy overlays or anything like that. It's just a very plain design. This obviously makes the pen much more affordable. While I have this book open, let me talk a little bit about the Waterman numbering system. The 5 in 52 indicates that it is a lever filling pen, and the 2 indicates that it is a number 2 size nib. Now you may have noticed that there are some extra numbers in front of these overlay pens. This one, for example, is number 0552, which is a variant of the 52. If we go back to Waterman's numbering system, we can see that a 0 before the hundreds column indicates that it is gold filled. The 5 indicates that it is a solid gold barrel and cap, which it is. The tens column, same as before, it's a lever filler with that 5. And the last number indicates the nib size, which is a number 2 size nib. So enough with the history, let's go ahead and talk about this pen in particular. I picked this up a year or two ago for about 25 bucks, and that was an absolute steal because this pen is in immaculate condition. When we judge hard rubber pens, we judge the pen's condition based on the sharpness of the chasing and engravings stamped into the pen body itself. For example, here I have a very used number 22 by Waterman's, and you can see that the engraving is very shallow. However, here the chasing is incredibly sharp, and you can make out the engraving very well. Let's do a head-to-toe inspection, starting at the top of the cap. It's a very nicely rounded section right up here. Moving down, we have 2 rivets holding the first generation Waterman's clip cap. This is nickel-plated and is fairly springy, but being 100 years old, I don't want to damage it. On the clip itself, it says clip cap and has the Waterman's Ideal logo right there. You have some breather holes right here. This helps prevent drawing a vacuum when you close and open the cap. Moving down to the barrel, you've got a very straight barrel right here, and it tapers right about this point so you can post the pen. The engraving says patented 1884, May 23rd, 1899. Waterman's Ideal Fountain Pen, New York, USA, and August 4th, 1903. You also have this lever right here, which is so nice to use. Waterman lever fillers are probably my favorite lever fillers. They're very nice to use, they're of high quality, and they work very well. And again, you get Waterman's Ideal globe logo on the lever right here. And actually there's another patent date underneath the lever right here, but since the pen is filled with ink, I'm not going to show you that. And on the back of the pen, it has 52 stamped in there right as you see. Taking off the cap, you have the threads right here and the grip section. These threads are not sharp, they're actually very nice. You have this grip section which tapers and has this hourglass shape. The nib reads Waterman's Ideal New York and has 2 standing for the nib size right there. The feed is a very nice Waterman's traditional spoon feed, which is what you've got here. Overall, this pen is very nice to hold. It's not heavy. It's nice enough to use without being posted, but the size gain you get from posting this pen is like perfect. It's literally the perfect fit. Even if you write very close in the grip section like this, it's still very well balanced and it doesn't feel top heavy. And if you hold your pen way up on the barrel, it works just as well. All right, let's do a little bit of writing. I've got Waterman Black in this pen. I'm using Clairefontaine paper. This nib is a flex nib. It's not a super flex, but it has quite a bit of flex. And as you'll see in the writing sample, it does a beautiful job of exploiting the flex in this gold nib. The nib has a little bit of feedback, but that's okay. It's not the smoothest nib in the world, but let me show you the flex. Check this out. That is opening up very nicely, and I don't have to push too hard to get it to do this. Of course, you can write without having it flex, and it writes very nicely as well. All right, let's do a little bit of upside down writing. Not the best performance. You do get a very thin line, kind of scratchy, and well, it's possible if you really want nice hairlines, but again, this is not the way you should write with a fountain pen. All right, let's test wetness. And again, especially when it comes to vintage pens, you're going to get more likely a very wet line, even up here. Fast writing. A little bit of skipping here, but that's okay. All right, lastly, let's turn the nib upside down and check this out. So you can get a very broad line. Because the nib is curved, you can get kind of really interesting effects like this. This is also a good use for checking out the shading of an ink as well. Overall, this is a fantastic pen. Very high quality, very well made, good nibs. The nib is really what sells the pen. A word of warning though, the pen cap is extremely thin. Note that there is also no cap band. That means you need to be very careful when posting the pen. You don't want to be too forceful, otherwise you might risk splitting the cap. Also, I would avoid trying to wash this with water. Water can often discolor black hard rubber, as you can see here on the cap of my Waterman number 12. Also, if you're doing vintage pens, they tend to leak more, but you need to be more careful about carrying them. Altitude pressure changes, temperature changes, being careless with the pen by doing stuff like this is going to make a mess inside the cap. So all I'm trying to say about that is just be aware if you're transporting these pens. So that's going to do it for me for today. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you liked this video, please go ahead and leave a like. That lets me know that I'm doing a good job. If you want to see more of this kind of content, go ahead and subscribe down near the bottom. And coming up now is a close-up montage of this pen. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
you.